is day 1449 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. And the limit of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi today should be a schus for the Yoshvei Eretz Yisrael who are fighting in Gaza, against Gaza, and Am Yisrael B'chol Makom Shehem. Today we are doing Yoredeh Simon Kuf Tzadik, Sif Ayin Beis, the Ayin Tes. Ayin Beis. Chasav Rabbeinu Beis Yosef. Besif Chaf. Misha Ragil Tzitz Menu Dam Derech Piyama. Somebody has an issue that blood coming out from their organ, the male. And at the time of relations, they find on a cloth of the woman blood. She can assume it came from her husband. I'm talking about where a person sees blood also when he's not urinating. And the blood comes out unintentionally. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I guess it comes out inadvertently. It's in Juvas the Rashba. And the Baran Beis Yosef. Therefore, can assume that the attribute the blood on the aid on to the male organ's blood. Also, all stains can be attributed to that. So if you know that his semen is red, you can also attribute the cloth and the stains to that. That's the sept of Zavim, that there is such a thing. Also, with the time when semen which was in the woman as a result of relations comes out, blood comes out with it, you can assume that that's also a potential attribution. That it's only if it's within 3 days from the time that relations, in which time there is this halacha of the pleta shechva zera, as we shall see. There's the question if she passed through a marketplace of butchers or not. A lavra she didn't pass through. She can't attribute it to the butcher's market. The Zekish state to us it's like two attributions. Because even if she definitely passed through tzichalli close, she has to also assume that blood spurted on her clothing. How can we also assume that she went through? And also in all these issues of attribution, this is the halacha. Such as when we attribute it to sitting by people involved in stains. It's not. It has to be she definitely sat, not that there's a question whether she sat. But what is it talking about? When in a city where the butchers, all the people involved in other states sit in a specific place. I'm not going to say but sometimes they do it here, sometimes they do it there. Tell them I feel misafik. We can attribute even misafik to these scenarios. Maybe that they're involved in a place where she passed by and she didn't notice it. But Tamari says, since they don't have a fixed place, have a the entire city is like the marketplace of butchers. It's only considered to be one attribution, not a double attribution. It says brackets I see which has pigs. You don't have to be concerned with stains. It's not on the nowadays it's not relevant. These types of either the pigs or the things from which the pigs derive blood are not in our streets. And also the non-Jews hold them in their homes. Like we said, they don't let them run around wild in the streets. I doubt. She was involved in something red. She finds a black stain on her. Or the opposite. You can't attribute. When is it true? Black and red, red and black and black and red. But red and red, black and black. If you can't tell that it's precisely similar, you can attribute to that. Made Tilson, so she's involved in fenugreek water, which I guess is reddish, or made basa, or meat water, which I guess is blackish, or bekilo adon ktas, or it's a kind of a red Ointment, Tolabo Maraduma, she can assume the red, well, I guess all these are red actually. She can assume that all those are sources for a red blotch. You can tell, really, there's no comparison whatsoever. Ain't you can attribute. The explanation is you don't have to put one next to each other to see if they're similar. Even looks like there's no comparison. If we're going to say that clothing must look different than, say, on paper, so then also the form of drip is not the same. Etc. I mean, can we say that it is the same thing? That's in terms of how bright or how dull the stain is. Obviously, there's no comparison whatsoever. No matter how outlandish we want to get in our logic, we cannot put them in the same category. Until we still are not telling that. And something which has several I guess U's, H-U-E-S, involved with it. Everything you find comes from there. She's involved in a chicken. Then black and red and black and saffron colored. All can have to do, all relate back to the chicken. Because the blood when you shechted is red, and the blood of the limbs are black. Blood of the limbs are black, and the blood of the innards are saffron. And anything similar. The Gemara says, two women involved in one bird. It only has the blood of the mouth of a seller. You found a kesem size of a seller on this one, kesem size of the size on the size of seller on the other one. Stand to answer both to the Tomei. Sif Kaf Chafei. Because I was saying about Taisis. Taisis was say the Irish nis asku, but Sipor zu agazu. Say where they were involved in the bird one after another. But if the first one would have asked after she finished, so we said she's Torah, who was asked us, and she was involved. But on account of the second woman, or on the time of the first woman, she Torah the Gamri, even though she was completely Torah till now. Some explain it's only if they came together to ask, they were in time to both of them. But they came with another Torah. It's the box interpretation. It's like the two pathways of the Gemara. One's Tomei, one's Torah. You went to in one of them, Taros, and you Taros, and your friend came, walked to the second one, Taros, it was about Taros, we paskin, in both the Shabbat Bas Achas, and they come to ask together, they're both Patami. But they come one after another, Tohera. They're both Torah. Still the same issue about two houses, which you check for chometz. V'asa achbar, and a mouse came. Shogel chometz, and took chometz, and nichlas echad min abatim. He went into one of the houses. V'loyadin l'aymin. I don't know which of the two. The gankin adin came. That's also locha. B'chinam mikabasot. The two things are the same thing. But the truth is no comparison. The Bisham Hanoshim Omdim Becheskas Tara Ululei there, the people are assumed to be Torah were not for the pathways. The whole subject Tumo Islam Meshvilin, the whole subject Tumo comes from the pathways. Therefore they go one after another. We assume each one was Torah because they had a Cheskas Tara. And so the Bechometz are Banim Dukim. The houses are checked. If not for the mouse, they had a chazak of kashas. But the achbar, he saw something because the mouse is their issue. But here, the tumas of the woman, they are come from themselves. It's not a separate thing. It's not like the shmiel vis-a-vis the people or the mouse vis-a-vis the houses. No, the kesem was on her, right? It's a we need the kesem to get them out. We need the bird. Get them out of the problem which they themselves found themselves in. How can we assume? How can we get them both out of trouble if it's only enough for one of them? So therefore they remain in the status of their stains and their tummy. But my son, he shows, so he showed you with Tarim. So Taisa says if the person would have asked, we would have retire her. So before the second one found the kesem. That's why it says, end up saying that she's completely Torah. Or not. Matthias HaKesem that he found the kesem on the second one. Once he found the kesem, the second one, to Mishneim, to understand the both Tamei, even they came one after another. And the bracket says here, "V'zel kavanah sataz, v'yidati mamet orach chavas taz, al divrei taz, v'yisi chavas yacher v'kshola v'einad varim burim." Now that we can understand without seeing the taz and chavas taz inside. Ein zayin kosabatur, the two right. This asker b'kegris, she's involved in the gris word of kichsamim. It's a kegris v'oro shnei grisim. You find on her more than a gris or two grisim. Tamei, she's in tamei. Apishim nitla b'kegris. But kegris basic she's asker. Hi, if we assume that a gris came from what was she's involved with right now, loyishaberg gris ode, then the stain will be diminished from the size of a gris ode. Shushir kesem, which is the shear of a stain. V'chein this asker opposed to gris also she's involved in less than a gris. V'nim so like a gris ode. I find her a gris and more timeya. She's told me, "Vein so much she's asker because gris v'nim so la shtei grisin." Vote. And of course, go to that saying, if she was involved with one grisin, found there are two grisin plus. But Rashba Tiher, but in the Saska B'Ksoim Pachas Mikrisin, so like a gris vote. The Rashba does not say that way. The Rashba says that she's Torah if she's involved in Ksoim less than size of gris, and he found a gris plus on her. Ramban, Tiher Misaska Pachas Mikrisin, so like a grisin. Ramban even went so far as to be leaning with two grisin. But only Abizal, this is the Torah according to the Rosh Kaskas for Rishona, he holds like the first opinion. The explanation is the Rosh Soviet the Rosh holds you can only do an attribution when the entire stain can be attributed to this source. Such as the size of a gris in a bedbug. And a larger size she's involved in blood from outside the body in that greater amount. But if none of these cases, such as where the source attribution is not going to cover the entire area of the stain, even though when we remove as much as we can attribute, will be less than a gris. Because nevertheless, most of our cholos, we don't say that the rest comes from a bedbug. The reason we can say that do we definitely know that there was a bedbug? He said we have to be maker because otherwise no wound's going to be toward the husband. But in such case, but in such case, only Torah if we found less than a gris plus. But if found more than that, then Chacham said, okay, that's rare, right? We don't have to assume that that's a woman will never be toward her husband, because this is a very unlikely case. Another reason we can say the Shnei Tlios we don't make two attributions. Here it's two attributions. Tlios be'asek, attributions in the involvement, and also assuming the rest came from a bedbug. Also, we could say how do we say that two separate attributions link to the same spot? That's not very prevalent. But it's not like what we shall see. When she finds two grisim and a louse crushed there, to tell her that she's Torah, that's not an attribution. The louse is in front of us. The attribution is on the rest of it. Shame kind of supposed to hear Torchlia, I'll call Kesem the attribution to the entire on the entire stain. If you have some sheer gris, it's larger than the size of a gris. I feel when Mashi has some gris, therefore even it's a much more than gris, gris yesh Tlia, and you can be told up to a gris, B'chai Gam Lo Tir Ruch Chacham. The Chacham not say his Torah. Kosh can be especially if it's larger than that. But Kavachom Nisaska Begris, and certainly if she was involved with one gris, Nimtzu Aleh, and you find upon her Shnei Grisim more owed 2 grisim plus the Lord Mina Nitle Mashab Emtza Kesem Eser. Don't say that whatever's in the middle of the Kesem had to do with the thing with which you're involved. Sure, but Kampach Mikshir Kesem, Kampach Mikshir Kesem, and each side are left with less than Shir Kesem. Ein test of a Rashba Los Rilake. Rash does not hold this way. Even nearly Betamo. Seems as I think his reason is says Oshun the Yosui the Gam Bezeh Ashir Shisaska Ganki Lom Bikritlia. Even whatever she was involved in, that's not called an attribution. It's like it's definite. Like a crushed louse. The Krava Dharma makes you Saska Badami. It's logical to say that because you're involved in this in blood, Nimtoleh Keskashir you found his Kesem a stain in the slice. But it's not an attribution, but it's almost definite. Therefore, you go after the rest with attribution. If it's not larger than the size of a stain, then we assume it came from a bed bug. So what she was involved with is part of it. And that's of Tirvana. And the rest of it, we're toiling a bed bug. But Turkey said, the Tur is short and explained the Rashba. The members of Rashba in the Saska B'Gris, according to the Rashba, the truth of she involved in the Gris, so last Negris, and he found 2 Grisim, Gamkin Torah, Mitam she's bar. Because one Gris, she was a second, the other Gris, we're toiling in Macholos. Achar Ramban Osif Lakel, Ramban is more Meko. Even if after all attribution is said, you're left with a share of Kesem, because she's asked about Gris such as involved less than Gris, Nimtzol, Shnei Grisim, and she found 2 Grisim, Chain in Nisaska, Gris, Nimtzol, Shnei Grisim, but also she found 1 Gris, and she found 2 Grisim plus, Kanki Torah, she's also Torah, Mishum do Shadina, Bay, Mitzay, Aches Nisaska, because we say it's like a barbell. The middle goes after what she was involved with. The two sides, then she can be toilet. And the 2 sides are separated. And neither one has the size of kesem. That's the Rambam Bedincha Bavka Rashba Ayin Sham. Rambam seems to hold like the Rashba, and Arukh HaShulchan will get more into it in Mir Hashem tomorrow.